Welcome to the Harjit and Prayer show with your host, Harjit and Prayer. Hey there, Prayer.
What's up, Harjit?
What's up? What's up? Yeah.
What's up? What's up? You don't talk like that, so don't do that. What
Indians
was that?
Indians don't talk like that.
No, you don't ever talk like that. What in the world? What's up?
Hey
What's
man.
up? Okay, seriously
Hey,
though, it's
hey,
been a year and a day, or more than that, and a lot has happened. What should we talk about first? Who do you work for? The last time we talked on, we did recorded a video. Who did you work for?
so Microsoft, right? Is that what you're
No,
talking?
wrong.
The last time, my
The
previous
last
job.
time we recorded, I should say, who did you work for?
Okay, the last time we recorded, I was working for the university.
Yeah,
In,
and now
in
you
Hong-
work for.
Now I work for Microsoft.
Yep. The last time we recorded, I worked for the university. Then I worked for a contractor
Yeah.
um, to do work for a financial tech company. And now I work for Microsoft.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
we've gone through some transitions over the last 16, 8, 17 months and stuff. So,
Something like that. Yeah. A
yeah,
lot of transition and yeah, a lot of
absolutely.
changes in our lives for sure.
Absolutely.
Uh, and
So,
you know what? It's seriously, it's amazing that both of us are actually in the same company now. We get to work with each other, kind of, right?
right. Not
So
really, but
it's a lot of fun. We've known each other for a long time. In our private lives, we've done things separately, and we kind of like followed each other's careers because we were both also in higher ed and stuff, right?
yep.
Now here, so it's cool.
Yeah. So in 2013, we met at the river in New Orleans, and we were like, "Oh, there's no way we'd ever work for a company like this," you know. And then almost 10 years later, oh yeah, next year will be 10 years that we would have met.
Incredible.
It's like
Yeah.
so 9 years later, it's like, holy cow, we actually, not that this is. I don't. I say this every time. Like I feel like this will be the company I die with or retire with. Um, I I don't. I always want to keep a growth mindset available to me. Like you never know, but at the same time, I'd be really okay with like never having to go through interviewing again and stuff
No,
like
and,
that.
and
So,
I know for me, I made the right decision,
yep, for sure.
and I couldn't be any happier. Um, Definitely, and I feel like I should have joined this company probably 5 6 years ago. Kind of a thing. But you know how it is with your existing jobs. You get comfortable. You get to know what to do. You know the people, culture and stuff like that. So you're just like, why But
Yeah.
it was time, and I've learned so much in the 1 year that I've been at Microsoft. So much. My skill sets have gone up. I've made a lot of impacts. I was doing a lot of like workshop deliveries. I've got some certifications that I've never would have gotten before.
Hmm.
So really a lot of improvements. Plus, just the benefits and work life balance and work cultures. Everybody's been amazing. So
Yep, for sure. I've only been here 7 months and still considered newbie and
yeah,
stuff and learning. The great thing about working for a company like Microsoft is every day you will learn something new.
every day. Every day.
And the best thing that you can do for your career anywhere, but like honestly here, is just to take chances and be bold,
Yes.
take some risks and stuff like that. And so,
Yeah.
one of the things that we have to do as a customer engineer is engage with customers. And sometimes you
Yes.
can make choices with which customers to work with and what problem they need help solving. And some of them I'm like, oh man, I don't know any of this stuff. Like, I can't do that. But then it's like, maybe take a chance. Let me just talk to them first for a few minutes and find out, can I actually help you? And just because we're able to establish good communications back and forth and they have an understanding, like, there'll be some research that happens and interfacing with peers to make sure we're doing the right thing for them, it
Yeah.
always works out. And I'm like, okay, I can do this kind of a thing.
My
Um,
philosophy with working with customers has always been the honesty. Like I was very straight up with them. Hey, so what are you exactly you looking for? Okay, yeah, I have a general sense of idea what but I'm not exactly sure. Let's recap another time or whatever. Let's follow up, and then I'll do my due diligence. I'll do my research. I'll do my whatever. I'll maybe bring in some experts and stuff like that. And at the same time, I'm learning it too. So then I'm able to help the next
Yep.
customer and stuff like that. And it's been incredible. I mean, like I'm sure it's the same with you, where worked with very small customers to like gigantic customers. Like, and it's like the
Yep.
the scale is incredible. So one of the things that we have already experienced it, but for our viewers and stuff, if you're joining a company like Microsoft, you always hear the term, get ready to for the fire hose, get ready to learn from the fire hose, right? So you're like, you don't get it at first, you're like, ah, yeah, yeah, okay, whatever. And it literally means that, so when you're looking at, like, the fire truck hose and stuff like that, it's just like full swing water coming out, and there's no like turning it off. That's how much information you're getting from day one when you start, right? And it may slow down a little bit, but it doesn't turn off, right? Literally, because it's just like you said, right? You learn something every day. Like, there's never a day like you don't, you know. So
It's funny.
I
I've heard that so many times, and that has not been my experience in any way, shape, or form. I feel
so
like everything came at like a good rate that I can
mhm,
ingest, and I could look at something and say, you know what, that's for another day or another week. But I never had any pressure. I felt never
right.
anything. It's
No,
just,
I don't mean pressure. I mean, literally, it's like information superhighway.
yep,
It's like
I
there's
know. Like, yeah, I
tons
know
of
what you're talking
information
about because
coming at
it's a
you.
term that comes up a lot,
Yeah,
and like, I just
yeah.
want to, like, if you're interested in working for Microsoft and you hear that term
Don't be afraid.
before, hey, like, everybody is different. And that was not my experience in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
And I actually talked to a few people about this. So, like, am I doing something wrong? And they're like, actually, no, because, like, the group that you're working with, like, they actually don't want that to happen. So the fact that you're saying that is a good thing. I'm like, all right,
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
And also, like, I've come from very big organizations and stuff like that, where, like, hey, we're handing you all this stuff to do. Maybe my perception is like, I'm kind of used to this in the beginning, and so it doesn't hit me like that. I don't know. There's
yeah,
a lot of, like, people that Microsoft is like their first job. There's a lot of people where, like, you've worked for an organization a really long time, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden it's like, what? you know,
yeah.
you're in.
It feels like there's tons of resources that we have. It's like trying to keep track of them. Like, okay, where do I go to this? They're all there. It's just trying to like organize yourself so you're able to better absorb it. So I went through that. Initially it didn't last very long because I was already working with customers within my first 3 weeks instead of the first 60 or 90 days. I was like right on the right out of the gate. Um, and then I got I had set my pace. I knew exactly what I was doing and stuff like that. I was making
Cool.
some good progress. And now I just switched to a new position, right? So I was a customer engineer. Now, as you know, I'm a product marketing manager for Windows Enterprise, and it's a different, it's a shift of role responsibilities. So again, now I'm back into that phase again where the new fire hose, the other one,
Hmm.
and it's there. It'll happen, and
Yeah.
I'll learn and I'll move on, um, and the cycle continues. So
Yep.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure, like, most people that know us, well, at least personally, like, they know we made this shift, and you have a large social media following, so you know that, they know of you. And I think I posted on Twitter, hey, this is my first day at Microsoft, but we just wanted to share that again. And just in case you don't know, because it's been,
a
yeah,
long
so
time.
there was a lot of changes in my personal life in
Yes.
2021, like, huge ones. So I just wanted to make you aware of what happened. So I'm back in New York. As I told you, I shifted employers and stuff like that. I needed to work for a company that would allow work from home forever. So the reason for that is my daughter's mother and I decided that, you know what, like we're just going to make some choices. We decided to get a divorce and just kind of do things differently. It was a rough year. That's kind of one of the reasons I feel like we didn't record as much, because I was just like, I don't want
Exactly.
to do anything after work. I just want to chill out and do nothing. And you know, it was definitely some up times, but man, when I hit rock bottom, it
Oh yeah.
sucked.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm glad that I had like a good, you know, I've been going to therapy for since 2018, and I'm glad I continued doing that in New York, because I would have fallen apart really badly if I did not have that
a support
going
mechanism, man.
for me.
Yeah.
Yep. And so like, yep, a lot of changes there. So you know, and you know, if anybody's like, not, it's nobody's business, but you know, I see the girls a lot, like almost every day, and you know, we are able to do all the logistical planning. So it's not like we are, you know, it wasn't like a crazy scary process or anything like that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was very simple and straightforward. So
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of
and you
changes.
moved to be closer to your girls. So,
Yes, I wasn't
you
going to
know,
stay in Florida. They wanted to be back in New York, and I said, "Okay, then I'm moving to New York too." You know,
yeah.
so I couldn't work for UF anymore. That wasn't a possibility. So, yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
it was interesting. You know, they left in May, and I stayed until the end of July. So I had to pack everything I owned up into a truck. Some of my friends down there helped me, and we had a couple last nice dinners. And yeah, I drove a truck all the way
Hey,
back up here again.
the positive out of this, you don't see snakes now.
I do.
You still do?
Yeah, dude. Not as often as like down there, but at least the here's the good thing about New York. So I was walking around a big lake the other day with one of my friends, and I was telling her, you know, the great thing about New York is that I don't have to be worried about an alligator hiding under that bush over there, or a snake. Like every time I hear like a
Spiders.
leaf rustle, is that a snake? You
Yeah.
know, and if I wanted to go off a trail, if I'm hiking by myself, like up in the mountains, I'm not worried about like some snake hiding. Like there could be, there's Adirondack rattlers and stuff like that, but you hear them and they don't want to be around people, and so they kind of stay away from these well-known trails. So I love that. But I know this is going to sound crazy, but I miss the heat and the humidity. Like
Yes, I'm
right
sure.
now it's like 95 degrees down there, and like close to 100% humidity in Gainesville. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, that would
oh,
be so nice right now.
that's too much.
Yeah, the first time it snowed, I'm like, you've got to be, oh, I hate it still. And I remember I think it was like in March or April, it snowed again. And like I asked the girls, like, are any of you praying for snow? And the youngest one said, raised her hand, and I was like, would it be okay if you stopped, because it's April and I really want warm weather again and no more snow? And she's like, okay. And so you know, I was like, okay, I would appreciate that. Not
Yeah.
that,
So
you know,
I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm with you, man. I'm not a winter guy, a cold guy, and
But you live in Vermont.
I love Vermont, but it's, oh my God, if you could take the winter out of it, it would be perfect.
Yeah,
But just take the winter out, it's
right.
like, but so we had like in the last weekend, and we were in the 80s here. We're like, yes, this is great, and then now in the last couple of days in the 50s. Like,
Oh
what?
wow.
Yeah, like it dropped, so that's what happens here. And I was wearing shorts, for the last few days, and then, and
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, a new experience I'm having is that for the first time in my life, I've never had this before. I have my own place.
Oh yes.
Like, you know, after college, I lived with my parents and then got married, and then we moved in together. And that was
Yes.
like our
You
first
never
place
had
I
your place.
rented, but this is like I got to choose, like, oh yeah, I like this place. And you know, then I moved in, I'm like, I think I need curtains, probably. Should I buy them? I'm like, okay. I bought some curtains, and like, you know, I know how to do all that. But then like I'm in my study and I'm like, oh, I should get some blinds or something in here. And I got to pick the blinds I like and stuff like that. So and then like my mattress on the way up here got ruined, and so I bought a new one. I'm like, oh shoot, I need a bed. Uh, and so like silly things like that, I'm like, oh, it's like I get to choose what I like. That's kind of a neat
Yeah, because
experience.
before you were doing everything together, right?
Exactly,
And
and
then
we
the whole
always
thing
figured it
together.
out. Yeah.
Even like pots and pans. Like, do we want this kind? Do we want that kind? Now you just like, I like this one. I just want to get that one. Like, yeah.
And like I purged a lot of stuff in Gainesville because I didn't want to pack it up. But as I was unpacking, I'm like, why did I bring this up? I don't want to pack this again. And so I had like my porch was full of stuff to be donated. And so the organization came, they picked up all the stuff, and I'm like, some of it I was like feeling like, oh man, like I can't believe I'm getting rid of that. I got rid of like a ton of books. I'm like, why? I don't want to be one of those people that has a bookshelf so people think that I read it a lot. You know what I mean? I want to keep the books that I'm reading, and I want to keep the books that mean something to me. And so I
Yes.
had two ginormous IKEA bookshelves, and I'm now down to just like one small one that I bought
Yeah.
on off of Wayfair. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I like this constant whittling down and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
My wife has been talking about needing to rent a storage unit.
oh no.
Yeah, because we got a lot of stuff in the basement, and then we get, I'm like, oh no, really? And she keeps saying, it's all your crap. It's all your crap. And it's, well, yeah, partially is because I've been hogging a lot of backpacks and things like that
Oh my
from,
god, not from like conferences.
yes,
That's
conferences.
ridiculous.
And so, like, okay. And then, so I got, yeah. And then my girls had moved back, right, because of COVID, and the school shut down, and then so they have to. So we got some of their stuff from their own apartments and stuff,
Gotcha.
here. So yeah, we're gonna have to look into something like that. But I'm gonna this summer I'm gonna take the time and just try to like get rid of stuff, just like you said. I've got a bookcases too that like books from like, oh my god, 20 years, like never touched it again.
Yep.
It's like, let's give it away. And
I gave away a ton of in Gainesville actually I got rid of all of my Ignite backpacks because I only used two of them. A ton of swag. I'm like, why? I didn't even know I had this here. So if I didn't know I had it, it can go. And just constantly like it was an immediate reaction like if I didn't even know this was here, it's going away. Of course, my diplomas and things like that, like
oh
I
yeah,
keep things like that. But yeah, I got rid of a lot of stuff, and I feel like I whittle a lot down now. This place doesn't have any closets except for one that's outside my apartment, and it's super tiny. I have like Christmas things in there and a couple of like things like that. But other than that, it's like okay, when I move again, it should be a lot simpler. I hope.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to live in like minimalize, yeah, whatever they say. Uh,
Oh, it's not minimalist. It's just there's like stuff out, but
yeah,
it's
but you
definitely
do, but
like
the things you got, you don't, like you haven't touched it in years, so it's like
yeah.
just collecting dust. Yeah,
Yep.
same.
Like I kind of like that. All right, there's no closets, so I can't put anything anywhere. And so it has to go somewhere. It's like, okay, like all the stuff that's out, it's out for there's a purpose for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's been pretty cool. But
yeah.
the the city I live in Newburgh, New York, which is
Orange
like
County choppers.
yeah, exactly. But it's also known for its like crime statistics.
Oh,
So next to like the next most violent city, next to
seriously?
Newburgh is Compton, California, which everybody knows that's pretty violent. It's like number 35 in the country or something like that. So I was super nervous about like moving in because I have little girls and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's a very diverse community, which in Gainesville, there's so much diversity. I wanted to be around that still.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, yeah, it's like definitely like there's some stuff going on, and I'm like, who are all those people hanging out on the corner all day long? Like, what are they doing? And stuff like that. It's like, okay, they're doing what they're doing. But at the same time, I see kids walking home from school and going to school. And it's like, all right, if they're doing this, then it must be an okay neighborhood.
right.
But
Well, a lot of
The
people
first
go
oh,
to
and listen
New.
to this. The first night I was here, I'm sleeping on an air mattress, and I hear bang, 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 bang. It was a gun. I'm
Oh
like,
no.
what did I do? Like, where did I just move to? Never again, though. It was not fireworks. It was absolutely a gun. I'm like, holy crap.
Oh my
That's
God.
terrifying. Yeah.
That is terrifying. Well, a lot of people seem to go to Newburgh though, because isn't there like the outlets in that area?
That's in Monroe. Not That's
Mm.
like maybe 15, 20 minutes away.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but what I love is like in 5, 10 minutes, I can walk down to the Hudson River and hang out on the waterfront. That's like really, really nice. And there's a lot of people that are like renovating houses around here, and so you can see the changes happening in the community and
Oh, very
stuff
nice.
like that. Yeah, so I dig it. Again, it's not like my forever home or anything like that, but it's a I'm like I'm proud that I can call this like my first place. At When I got it, I was 45 years old.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, this is cool.
And
So
also for work, you've been just to change the pace, you've been going once a week to New York City to Times Square, right?
yep. Yeah, I
Um,
stopped going a couple of weeks ago, but I had been going once a week on Mondays to the Times Square office, which was number one, the commute is so fun. It's again, this is such a beautiful area. Being on the train just to like, zone out and watch everything going by, it's very peaceful. And then just walking to the office,
yeah,
being in the city again, it's not as crowded as it used to be, but definitely there's more people out and about. And then, yeah, the office itself isn't very crowded.
yeah.
But yeah, I just park myself at one of the long common desks and I look to my right and there's the Port Authority and it's right in the middle of all the things. I've sent you pictures like, hey, look,
Oh
from
yeah,
this
yeah.
view, I can see the Empire State, and you've been there, the Empire State Building
I've been
from,
to that office. Yeah.
yeah, so
Um,
it's a very, very nice building, but since the numbers have been going up, I decided just to protect my family, I'm not going to go in for a while
okay,
just until
good.
in
How
case
long does it
there's,
take you? It's about an hour, right?
oh no, much longer than that. So it's 2 hours one way from my apartment to the I'm sitting down. Yeah. So the commute, like the train itself, it's like an hour and 20, 30 minutes. But then, it takes 10 minutes to walk to the office, 15 minutes to drive to the train station. So
Oh,
I was like, I'm going to do this once a week just for a change of pace, to be
yeah.
around people, have some great coffee in the office.
Yes, they do
Um,
have that. Yeah,
that was pretty cool. I'm like, you mean there's this robot machine, you just touch the screen and you say what you want and it makes it for you? Like, how crazy is that? That's
yeah.
cool. I don't even know what this drink is. Let me try it.
I was in
Yeah.
Bellevue recently, and in Bellevue itself, there are a few Microsoft offices buildings, and someone said, "Hey, don't forget to go up to the 28th floor of this that building over there, 2 blocks away, and there's a cafeteria and stuff." I said, "Okay." So with our badge, we have access, and I went up, and the food's really cheap and it's good, and the views were amazing,
Hmm.
and you're like, "Oh, where do you get your drinks?" Oh, they have all these refrigerators and stuff like that, right? Just like when you go to campus,
Right.
in every building you have the waters and the sodas and the milks and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's been definitely a change of pace. A lot of life changes, obviously, and stuff like that. And there used to be a lot of shame in going for professional mental health, and
yes.
and I'm like, screw that. I'm
Yeah.
telling the world, like, you gotta,
Yeah.
even if you think nothing is wrong, just go once a month just to see and make sure you're doing the right thing for your life and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it saved my life for sure. That and a good diet, um, has been key in doing all that kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You're looking great, and you're looking happier too. I can see that in you. So,
that's
you're
because I
fantastic.
shaved the thing.
Yeah. And a big bushy hair.
Yeah, I'm growing it out again, seeing what I just like the new stylist that I have. I said, listen, the last time I grew my hair out was in Chicago, right? That's when I had started.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what it looked like as it progressed, and it was insane, and I didn't like it. Is there a way to better manage this? And she's like, absolutely. She's like, you should have gone in for trimmings and stuff like that. So she gave me like some fancy shampoo to use and after creamer to use, and every every time I see her, it's like a longer length of time, and she's just doing a tiny bit, and all right, I dig it so far.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna go full on. What's his name in Moana? Maui. Like last time, where it was like curly and like down to my shoulders and
it
stuff.
was. I just saw that picture. I posted it in our
Yeah,
Slack.
yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I don't
I
think
was
I'll
like,
do that.
oh wow.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that again, but we'll see what she can do. So, yeah.
I tried, a few months ago, and I just let it go, and I was trying to like keep it long and whatever. It was just like becoming a disaster. My family hated it. They're like, I'm like, yeah, but I just, no, no, no. So yeah, I just, and
Another cra
I'm balding too. I've got like very like thin hair and stuff like that, and so really like, what am I covering?
Yeah. So another crazy thing I tried is, many years ago I started getting my eyebrows shaped and stuff, right? So
Yes,
I'm seeing a new person up here, and she like let out like, hey, like if you ever want to, I can wax your cheeks for you, so you don't have to shave as much. I'm like, are you serious? Because I hate shaving, like I hate it
me
so
too.
much.
I
It's
hate
a pain in
shaving.
the butt. So I was like, all right, well, can you do it now? And so she did it, zip, zip, just used wax. I'm like, this is amazing. And I didn't have to shave for like over a week because it was just gone. It was
Really? Okay.
amazing. And so then when I went in the next time, I said, can you do down here too? And she's like, oh yeah, absolutely, but it's gonna hurt. I'm like, no, no problem. I can do it. Oh my God, did it hurt so
Yes.
bad. I was like, she saw it on my face. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, keep going. Like we've started it, just keep going.
There's
I
no
only
going
did
back.
it two more times, and I'm like, I can't do it. I
Yeah.
this
I had
is
it done on the back of my neck once, and I was like, okay, that's it. Never again. Whatever.
it was weird though, like how it long it took to grow back. Like it just like this is really cool. And so she said, like, I get it, it hurts a lot, but if you ever go away on vacation and you don't want to worry about shaving, that's something you have the option of doing. I'm like, even that, I'm not gonna do. It hurts. It's
So
so
I was,
painful. Yep.
so I started keeping this new look because, again, I hate shaving. I've always hated it, but the wife and all that, like, didn't like me, and whatever this look. So I would keep it for a couple of weeks, then I'll shave. Then I'll let it grow out, and then I'll shave. I'll let it grow out, shave. And I was just going through this whole cycle, and I'm like, screw that. And so now what I did is I bought myself a trimmer, right? One of those beard trimmers and stuff like that. So maybe once a week or something, I just trim it down so it's like nice and short.
Cool.
Then I just shave the neck area, and that's it, done.
Yeah. What I've decided to do is I've been like, getting into better shape. If I can hit 215 pounds, I'm shaving it all off.
Oh yeah,
Yep. Because I've had something on my face for almost 20 years. And so I'm like, it'd be cool to get it all off and just and if I don't like it, guess what? Like in a week, it'll be back.
yeah,
It
yeah.
grows back so fast. So
True,
yeah,
true.
that's like my encouragement to keep exercising and trying to eat better and
Okay.
stuff. So yep,
I need to do a better job on that. I have been pretty complacent about it. Yeah. I need to get back into the whole exercise routine, and again, like here, Vermont, and winters are brutal,
yep.
and it's cold, so you can't really go anywhere, so you're cooped up. And for me to go for a walk somewhere, I have to drive somewhere. I don't live in like a neighborhood or something like that, so that's an inconvenience right there.
Didn't you buy a treadmill?
I bought a bicycle. uh,
And you bought an Oculus Quest.
I haven't used it in a long time. I got
That's
so busy with work.
Yeah,
Seriously.
excuses, excuses. Dude,
Yeah.
literally, if you can't like stand there and do this in like in a tiny space, like you're gonna go out for a walk, oh come
Yeah.
on.
I know.
That's
I know.
ridiculous.
That's true. Have you
That's
been
ridiculous.
using an Oculus?
I haven't, but I've been going out for walks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. I got to do that. I told the family. I said, oh, we got to stop playing tennis because that's what we normally do in the summertime. There's a few tennis courts in my town,
Sweet.
and
Very
so
cool.
we just go there, after work and just hit some balls, just have some fun
There
and
you
whatever.
go. That's
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. But I got to watch my diet too. Diet is another big thing, and yeah.
Yeah, maybe next time we can there's some key things that I feel again, along with therapy, I feel like there's some big changes I made to my diet with some very specific products completely changed how I felt up there. So maybe
Really?
next time we'll talk about that because it
Oh,
was
that would
just
be
like,
good.
yeah, I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that. It's just like this worked for me
Okay.
when I was dealing with a lot of depression and
Okay.
stuff. And in the middle of winter, like compared to New York, Florida, New York doesn't get any light in winter, and so that had a drastic
Oh
effect on
yeah.
my mental health for
Yeah.
sure. So you saw some of it on some of our
Yeah.
phone calls, and
Hmm.
so yeah, changing my diet and implementing certain things really like clicked with me, and it was like, oh,
Oh, we should do it.
all
We
right,
should
the
talk about
basics are down. So yeah,
it. Okay.
just in case
Cool.
someone needs some help out there. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
cool.
Anyways, this is a good catch up. And we'll try to get this into a cadence. Weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, just to talk about stuff and maybe even incorporate some technology stuff that we work on or whatever.
Yep.
So cool things.
One thing more I want to say before we say see you later. Psy, if those things are in a plastic wrapper, you can't call that a crumpet. We've had this discussion. I don't care that you come from the islands. That's not a crumpet. That's all I'm going to say. And so my name is Prayer. You can find me on Twitter at the IT Jedi for now. I might I might drop Twitter. I don't know.
No, no,
But
no.
otherwise, for those
Yeah,
of you know how to get a hold of me, you know how to get a hold of me. That's all I'm going to
yeah.
say.
All right, and I'm Harjit on Twitter. I'm at Hooch Hoorge.
What is? Nobody even knows what you say. You shouldn't even like say it. Anyway,
All right,
see
cheers.
y'all later.
Fork, fork, fork.